Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast, your highest source of sacred truths and universal wisdom. Hello, beautiful souls. I'm Rachel Fiori, mystic, spiritual teacher, psychic healer, and founder of Masters of Self University. Join our journey of soul transformation as we deep dive into this latest episode. Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to Masters of Self University podcast. I am Rachel Fiori, CEO of Masters of Self University, and we are here with amazing, mystical life coaches from Masters of Self University. This is our women's panel, our first women's panel ever. Welcome, my co-host, Christie. Hello, Christie.
Hi, happy to be here.
Welcome our other co-host, Emily. Hi, Emily.
Hello.
And welcome our other co-host, Treloar.
Hi, everybody.
And finally, Rachel Squared, our other co-host, Rachel Baker. Hello, Rachel.
Yeah. Thank you, Rachel Squared.
Welcome, ladies. So we have a very interesting and fascinating topic that we are pretty passionate about. Women uniting with women. That is what this podcast episode is about. Women uniting with women. What that means on an elevated scale from teachings of oneness. And we need to first talk about, in order for women to unite with women in healthy, conscious, beautiful, elevated ways, we need to first understand how women sabotage this, how they destroy this, how destructive they are. We need to talk about the shadow side of women, and we need to bring that to the surface first in order to understand. You don't just unite with other women and say you're supportive and it's a sisterhood and all this bullshit that goes on out there because we dance half naked around a fire and rub our titties together. That's not women uniting with women from a divine perspective. Okay, we are here to offer an elevated divine perspective. What is our divinity? And we need to talk about the sacred feminine. But we can't get there or achieve that or reach that just because you think you can and because you want to and because you claim to be all that shit all over social media. Just because you claim it doesn't mean you are it. It is time to wake up to how we actually show up as women versus how we like to think we're showing up or how we like to claim we are. This is no bullshit. So let's dive in. Who wants to start?
Well, I think it's about to get cray because we're gossip.
Oh, gossip. So program of separation, a destructive program. Gossip. Let's dive in. Yeah, good one.
Yeah, I think that women love to get together and chat and have a good time. And then when we go back to our lives or whatever, we are jealous or we feel less than or superior of. And then we have to take that nugget that we felt and start talking about it as fast as we possibly can. And I really feel like that part needs to end. And it starts with us putting our foot down and saying, I need to heal what's in me first before I ever go down a road like that.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
And much of what you're talking to, Rachel, I can really resonate with. Like, it feels like I've been surrounded by women that need this kind of version of social currency. You know, it's become something that people are seeking out. I've got this nugget I can share with you. I'm backstabbing or bitching about somebody. When did that become what we talk about? Like, that sucks. That feels nasty.
Warfare. It's warfare. We use it as ammo to get our egoic needs met, and we use it as ammo, and we don't even recognize that we're doing it.
Yeah, and it's a way to claw back some power, I think, because what's better than making someone else feel less powerful, you know? Right. And yet I think deep down we kind of cannot it's not possible not to feel the ick of that, you know, the fact that it's the farthest from the truth that it's possible. It's just not real power. It's not remotely power.
Definitely a false sense of power there, false sense of power. And what we want to awaken people to women to, is this false sense of power comes from creating separation programs of inequality. Why? Because when I gossip and bitch and complain and talk shit about other women in this little circle of women right here, what I'm doing is I'm creating the programs of superior, inferior. I'm making myself superior right now, and I'm making that woman inferior to me, which means I'm creating inequality. Uh-oh, hi, wake up. This is how the energetic program of inequality gets absolutely spread out to the world. And women think we are also not responsible for creating sexism and inequality. We are creating the energetic programs of inequality when we talk shit and gossip in a negative way about other women. That is inequality, because inequality program is a superior inferior program. Don't you dare say the only ones on the planet that create toxic patriarchy and sexism are men and only men. That is not true.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And it's like, it's an amazing segue into codependency, because part of the reason, probably the biggest reason that a lot of us do this, is because we're dependent on other people to meet our needs. And we're dependent on men to meet our needs, or we're dependent on the almighty dollar to meet our needs. And so if we act like men, number one, or we get a man to take care of us, number two, we're feeding into this codependent need constantly.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It is the gossip aspect, or the coming together as women and then communicating about other women in a negative way. It is an addiction. It's an energetic addiction. It's a program that we've had for a long time, and it really does take a lot of effort to break these patterns, right? To be able to be aware in communication with other women and observe in ourselves, oh, this doesn't feel good. How do we stop it? How do we shift that? Like, it's pretty difficult when it actually comes up in ourselves.
Beautiful.
And not only that, but so many times when we find ourselves complaining about, oh my gosh, did you see how she showed up and how dare she? We're actually running our own pattern, and we're trying to validate ourselves by, being unkind, right? We're running a pattern, and we're crapping on our girlfriend in the process, in that gossiping, and we're just running this pattern of, I'm not good enough maybe, and how dare she show up shining her light, for instance. I felt I didn't feel as good as she looked, and so I'm pissed about it, and so we'll go and gossip about people just because of that pattern alone, our own unworthiness patterns going on.
Yeah,
Beautiful.
Absolutely. Yes.
It speaks so much, I think, to the idea that when we're sort of bitching about people, we're perceiving in some way, I think, that someone's elevating slightly, or they might be a little bit above their station, and we just want to knock them down a peg or two. That always seems to be how it plays out in conversations.
And the why. Like, I really want to get right now to the why, so that we can touch the wound. Why do we do that? Why is that such an addiction? Why is it such a strong desire, even though you don't want to do it? And you might even take that spiritual high road, be like, oh, we all need to get together and lift her up because she's really fucking her life up. Or that's still, what are you trying to gain from that? What are you actually, why are we going in there? And why do we even have to mention her at all in the first place? I would love to hear all of your feedback, because I'm here to learn too. Why do we do that?
I think one of the things that happens just societally is that some families, that's just a pattern that familial runs, for instance, or a group of friends or something. And it's not okay. But that might be part of the why, is this learned behavior that we have in the community of females sometimes.
Yeah, 100%. And I think also we've learned that women are less worthy than men in this
There you
society.
go. There you go.
You know, and so we're perpetuating that without, most of the time, I would imagine, realizing it at all, that we're having a huge hand in that.
Yeah.
And when you look at it more neutrally, you can see that. But I think we're so knee deep in it, we can't see that anymore. It's completely unnoticed.
Absolutely. Within the gossip, the superiority in inferiority programs, the judgment programs, they show up in communication with all different people all the time, yet it's the unworthiness that is programmed into humanity that causes the deep feminine, toxic femininity, this gossip between women. Instead of being able to bring each other up, we're all fighting to prove ourselves.
There you
So
go.
we're fighting each other. We need
Yeah.
to knock each other down in order to
There
bring
you go.
ourselves up, because we are already in a place of being told that we're less than.
Woo!
So instead of being able to work together and bring all of us up together with the understanding that we are stronger as a feminine whole, we actually do the exact opposite. It's completely contradictory. And through this work, I've realized that everything we've learned is actually very contradictory to what are the universal truths and the way to actually elevate and transcend.
You got it. Absolutely beautiful. Because here's the thing. We have lived in toxic patriarchal society for thousands and thousands of years, for centuries. And because of that, women have learned, everyone in society all over the world has learned that women are inferior to men, period, end. And it's so deeply ingrained. We are so deeply brainwashed with this bullshit that women have no idea. That's what brainwashing is. That's what conditioning is. What is in your blind spot? You don't even know that you believe it. Oh, I don't believe that. Yes, you do. Yes, you do. How do you know you do? Look at your behavior programs. Because we believe we are inferior, that man is superior, we look to men to approve of us. Oh, if you want me to shake my ass and my booty in order to get the attention, I seek the attention that you're looking for.
Yeah.
And if I don't show up in that way, you'll look for it in another woman. Oh no, if I'm not fuckable enough, you'll look at other women and not me to go fuck them. Oh my gosh, that means I have to be fuckable enough, and I have to try to raise myself to what your standard is. And what you don't realize is the average standard of that is a piece of shit. We're in the sewer fighting each other to get the attention of unconscious men. Wake the fuck up, women.
Well, there
Bam.
it is.
Wake
Right?
up.
There it is right there. If you go back to the very roots of all of this, is that right there. And that's one of the reasons that we're so afraid of aging.
Yeah.
How much money do we spend on staying fuckable?
Yeah.
There you go.
Love
There
it.
you go. Exactly.
Yeah. And, I know that every single one of us has had a friend that's flirted with her boyfriend, with her husband, in this unconsciousness, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You got it.
100%.
And it hurts, and we keep carrying that. It really hurts, and it creates separation between all of us.
Yes.
Those wounds run deep, and they're meant to be with the people you feel safe with. You can feel less safe with those people that you're meant to be close with. It's
That is, yes, it is. It's stop trying to seek the attention, the superficial attention and the approval and the validation of unconscious men.
Yes.
Right there. All women could heal wounded feminine if they stop that right fucking now. You know what I see out there? What's a huge trend out there with people in relationships and their partnership is, oh my God, I need him to help me heal. I need him to be with me when I move through my pain. If I don't have him to sit with me and hold me and hug me, how fucking weak are you? Are you serious?
I love you so much.
Are you serious? This is what you've allowed yourselves to be reduced to? That you don't know the secret magic and the power of woman? Because I'm going to let you on a little secret. Take a breath. Listen up. Feminine power, masculine strength. Feminine power, masculine strength. Men are born in their divinity to express divine masculine through them as a man. They are born with a lot of beautiful, magnificent characteristics. We're not going to go into all of them. I'm only going to mention this one right now. They're born with strength. They are born bigger, stronger for a reason. That's part of their divine masculine gift to bring to the world and to bring to women. They're born with the physical strength. We are born with the emotional power. Women are the ones that carry the power.
Mm-hmm.
This emotional fragility that is out there in the world needs to grow up. We need to grow the fuck up. That's men and women. Everybody grow the fuck up. Because the power to alchemize, the power to heal, universal wisdom is feminine energy. And all these women, little girls, no, I'm not going to call you women. You're unconscious in your toxic shit. I'm not going to call you your little girls. Running around trying to compete with other girls for an unconscious man's attention. No divine woman competes for any fucking man. No divine. If you are looking at her, you want her, have her. Aw, you just proven you're not good enough for me.
That's right.
That is not a judgment. You've shown me who you are, who you're choosing to show up as. You can have her. Aw, you want to suck his dick? Go ahead. You can have each other because you've just proven you lack divinity, which means I won't spend my time with either one of you. Go be unconscious, fucked up, and toxic together. Have fun. Have your own little toxic unconscious party if you want to. But this, I choose not to be a part of that crap. I rise above. That is sacred feminine rising. It is time women start to understand the power that you fucking have and wake up to it. This world needs to be healed, and it is feminine power that heals. It isn't masculine. It is feminine. So women, I'm calling upon you now to wake up, to rise above. We are sacred feminine rising. Who is ready to join that and stop acting like toxic, feminine, weak, pathetic little girls? It is time to grow into your sacred feminine nature, and that is purity of divinity.
Well, I can tell you that's the only sisterhood I want to be in. I can tell you that right now.
Well,
Absolutely.
when you recognize these, there's a few themes that are going to run through here quite a bit, and the victim is one of them. We feel like when she did that to me or he did that to me, that we're going to curl up in a ball and want him to support us during that. Not even him, her too. Like we have these girlfriends that we dump all over, and we are an energy vampire. They're energy vampires with us. But if you're feeling upset, you go sit down and you deal with your shit for yourself.
Yes.
Like you're not the victim of anybody. This isn't something that someone did to you. This is something that you need to heal within yourself. I think that is a huge switch that we need to, as women and men, is to come out of the victimhood. Like, you want to put your foot down about some stuff. And the coaching that we do at Masters of Self University is really going in and finding out, sounds like you got a little victim program running there. It's time to pull that up and recognize how you're showing up as a victim, because I don't think that you see that you're doing it. I don't think you see that language is actually victim language.
And those programs run really deep and they're hard to identify. Why are they hard to identify? It doesn't mean someone didn't do something really fucked up to you. That is never what we're saying. People do horrible, unloving, harmful things to each other all of the time. It doesn't mean somebody didn't do something horrible, unloving. Maybe there was infidelity. Maybe your best friend really did that. Maybe your best friend stabbed you in the back, or your sister, your blood relative, or whoever it may have been. It doesn't mean you didn't experience that and they didn't do something really unloving. But the trend has been that women are seeking healing and group healing and from men, and I need other people because I'm weak and I really need my man, the divine masculine, to be there. No, you fucking don't. That doesn't heal. That isn't the energy that heals. Energy that heals and alchemizes and transforms absolutely everything. Trauma, wounds, darkness into light is feminine energy. Women, it comes from you.
Right.
It comes from you. Men are the ones that need to learn to get it from you. You're the one that offers it. We're upside down and ass backwards.
Absolutely. And to comment on the trend of, let's say, cheating, for example, we as women blame the women for our husbands cheating or our partners cheating most often, instead of understanding that there are probably two sides of that coin, instead of probably understanding that there is also something that we can probably be accountable for if our relationship is then having these infidelities. You know, it is not just the perpetrators, it is everybody that is involved. And if we can start taking accountability not only for ourselves, but recognize, you know, stop playing the victim game, not put the villain perspective on our partner, and seek to understand from a deeper place, you know, we can not be competing with the other women as well.
No competition. Now, one thing though I want to say about the cheating thing, because this is another mistake we've made, because we've learned that we take fucking blame for that. There's no blame for that.
Exactly.
No fucking way. It is not my fault you chose to fucking cheat. That's not me. You ran your cheating program. I wasn't running a cheating program when you chose infidelity. I don't take responsibility. I don't take ownership of other people's programs. Let me make that clear, because that is one of the way women have been dumped on. What role do you play in that? I don't play a fucking role in that. You chose to cheat. I didn't. So no, it starts with the person who chooses that infidelity is the person who's running the program that sabotages their relationship, that sabotages love. That belongs to him or her. Women do it too, but it belongs to the partner who chose to cheat. It is not two people's fault that one person cheated. That needs to go. That's got to be blown right out of the fucking water. That's number one. And number two, I love what Christie said, that because we've learned we're so inferior, and because of what we've talked about already, that we compete with each other, that when he looks at her and he goes off to cheat, we tend to only blame that woman. Oh, it's both of their fault. First of all, this little girl who's going to cheat with a taken man. Oh my God, your self-worth is so sad and pathetic that you would actually want the attention of a taken man. Shows how weak and what a sad state you're in, because that's repulsive to me. That somebody who's in a relationship would actually pay attention to me in that way is repulsive. You would want a man like that? Ew. So you're the lowest of the low in your own self-esteem. Let's start there. Number two, it's his fault because he's taking his attention outside of the relationship, outside of you. You don't get to use the excuse if there are even problems in the relationship. You don't get to use that excuse. It's not her fault. It's yours. Let's start there.
Because you're being weak. If you had such a problem, you need to get your shit together and come have a conversation with the person that it matters the most to. That's weak.
Yeah, and thank you for showing me what you've chosen as well. You've helped, because you've shown me what you are, and that's okay. You can go do you, and I'm going to go heal my stuff.
Yes.
And I'll move on and find something that's a bit more divine.
Yes.
That's a bit more fulfilling, that will have the sort of relationship that is something that I strive for and I really want, and not the codependent you normally see, which is pretty rife, and not the putting up with cheating and straying. And no, we are worth so much more than that.
Yes.
You know, men too. There's a different level of love, of relationship, that people are not accessing because they're not giving themselves the chance.
They're beautiful.
It's just another one of the pieces of this pie, that people are desperately missing out on. It's what they're wanting, and yet they're pushing it away with every action, with everything that just fuels unhealthy, toxic feminine, toxic masculine, unhealthy decisions. And more of that harm is going out in the world. People can't see the wood for the trees anymore.
Well, thousands of years ago, I think that a group of someone's recognized how powerful we are. And in that moment, they decided we need to bring that shit down, because I'm never going to be able to carry a baby. I'm never going to have that power. I need that shit coming down. And
they burned the witches.
We as women, like, if we're going to come up with a solution right now, we as women, we have to get our power back. Like,
true
right
statement.
Now, we all need to get our power back. stop bitching, stop moaning about everything that's wrong, and really get power back for yourself, because unity actually means that I've worked hard to get my power back, and when I come together with you as a union, as it were, you can count on me.
Yes, I will rise you up, and as I rise, you rise, we all rise together. That's sacred feminine.
That's right.
And how amazing when we do our own work and we have the epiphanies and the golden nuggets from spending time healing ourselves and dealing with our own stuff. How amazing is it to come together in our sisterhood of divinity and say, oh my gosh, this is what I learned about myself. And, and isn't it amazing, and to share that golden nugget with each other, because irrefutably someone else in the group will rise because of the golden nugget that you shared, right? And how amazing to be in that space with each other instead of the, all the bickering and the low vibration stuff, but just always be real. Yes. and always be responsible for our own shit, right? And call someone else on theirs and invite them to drop in and do their work and be there with them when they come back out of it and have their amazing, gift that they learned for themselves to share with the rest of the group, because that's how we're all going to just level up, right?
Yeah. Love it. Beautiful. Exactly.
And just on that as well, with the Sacred Feminine Rising group, I know that there's a real feeling that people don't want to put their head above the parapet. They don't want to they see that there could be something better. And yet it feels tough to move yourself out, to not belong anymore, even if belonging is completely fucked up. And I see Sacred Feminine Rising among all the other groups, but in particular speaking to the feminine side of things as a group where you can belong, where you can live into this, where you can begin to heal yourself, where you can begin to connect with people that are doing the same. What is a better place to feel that you belong, to be together, to rise together, to be bathing in that glorious rising light together? What could
and
be
to stand in trust together, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. And to heal without codependency, because codependency isn't healing. It is weakness. To say that you need him or you need your partner, no, you don't need anyone but the power of your own divinity to heal. And the other people around you are encouraging you, teaching you how to rise up while they rise up, supporting you with their love and light and non-judgment to say, go inside, connect to your power, rise up, heal this by yourself. We are here in divine observation. Get rid of this fucking brainwash bullshit from not from divine masculine, from toxic masculine that says you are to be subservient and you need me. I need to be there to hold space for you while you heal. No, you fucking don't need that shit. All of that, it's nothing but lies. Lies. It is bullshit. It is not divine truth. Shattering and dismantling all of those lies right now, because that is how women step into their power.
Versus control, I think a lot of women even listen to this right now, like, I'm gonna go stay in my power then. You do this and you need to do that. And we have to catch that, ladies, because that is called control program. That's not power, that's force. So when you're out into your house and now you're going to put my foot on all of this is going to be the way to play this anymore, that is probably coming from control programs and your desire to force things in this moment. And we've all been there. It's about getting your power back and getting support through the process. And the Sacred Feminine Rising group, you come in and you have help in the moment where you might be feeling like you're falling apart, but you have a certified coach to take you off to the side and walk you through it and support you, not just leaving you in the space where you feel like you had a therapy session.
Nope.
A lot came out and you talk yourself in circles and you don't know what side's up anymore. Learn about power versus control and force right now,
Exactly. That is beautiful. And to also throw in that all the nonsense that I still see out there about what it means to be in divine masculine and therefore what divine feminine is, that he dominates you and you are to be subservient, to get the fuck out of here with that bullshit. Toxic masculine dominates. Unhealthy, dysfunctional people teach and preach domination. That's a form of control. I don't care where you're talking about it. I don't care if you're talking about it in the bedroom or only when we're dealing with sex. Get the fuck out of here. Domination is toxic, period. What sacred feminine teaches is oneness. There's no such thing as dominating another human being when you are divine. No divine human dominates another human, another being on this planet, period. And domination comes from toxicity. So women, wake the fuck up with this subservient bullshit that you're still playing out. And a lot of you don't even see that you're playing out those roles.
And if I can add, just to say that if you see yourself like needing to correct someone or suggest something, it's such an amazing clue that you've got something going on, that you need them to show up in a certain way for you, because we do this to each other, women. We conscious women do this to each other, right? They're not, they're not healed women. And so, it's a huge clue when you find yourself needing someone else to show up in a different way, that it's time to get quiet. It's time to get quiet and go do your warrior's work and deal with the program that you've got running in that moment. And then come back realizing you didn't need to do anything at all, but be there in an uplifting way and non-judgment and unconditional love, and let them find their way. Right?
Beautiful, 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 beautiful. What a powerful discussion.
Yeah.
What a powerful discussion. So women.
Rachel, so much of what you just said, Treloar, brought forward a scenario for me that I went through right before I started the program with Rachel. This unknowing space with another woman, unknowing whether I should or I shouldn't. I want to or I don't want to, because she wasn't and because I didn't. And all these interesting things, to just be able to sit back, like you just said, and feel what it was actually like to be with her, to be in my own divine self while sitting with her and feel her programs. And know whether it was okay for me. And I said, I think it's okay for me so long as we are actively moving and it's only an hour. So I had to set, because she's still an emotional vampire. And I had to set like a loving and healthy boundary for my own self. I still love you and I still want to hang out with you. You're not doing the healing work that I feel you should be doing. I still want to hang out with you, but I have to put the boundaries there, because I can only handle so much energy vampire at one given time.
Love that.
Yeah. And you speak to such a good topic there. You can't expect other people, they're where they're at. So anyone you come in contact with, you've just got to take them where they're at. And it means that we need more loving boundaries and the ability to do that. And so that comes in with healing myself. What's my stuff? What's getting in the way? Can I clear it enough to be able to gain clarity here and set a loving boundary to come from love? Otherwise, it's just usually a shut off. It's usually a hideaway. It's usually a hell no. It causes connection even more. It creates more problems. And so in healing ourselves and coming into that space, we clear all of that. We can love, we can set a healthy boundary. We can actually keep and maintain connections where we want to the degree we need to and want to. And it's just better for everyone. That's coming from love, as far as I'm concerned. That's I've seen that evidenced in my own life time and time again, that's the best place to be coming from. There's no expectations on anyone else.
Yes.
So I think we were conditioned to think that everybody should like us.
Yeah, we need approval and validation from everybody outside of our own selves. And that's part of the wounded feminine, toxic feminine. Go Go into your
Yeah.
power. You approve of yourself. There's not another person. I don't care if you're married. There's not another person on this planet that needs to approve of you. You need to approve of you. And if you approve of yourself in a divine way, that means you also don't put up with your own toxic shit. You go in and you see it and you heal it. That's the approval you need. That's me, myself, and I, my divine self approving of me and approving of my healing journey that I have the power to go on and do and accomplish. I don't need other people to coddle me in order to heal myself. It's time to step into our power and realize the healing comes from women. It comes from the feminine, period, end. That is a universal truth. So women, it's time. I'm challenging you to step up, to actually find what your power is. And if you are codependent with your tribe or with your partner, that's not power. That is not power.
It's not.
Mm-mm.
We learn to appreciate. So something that has happened in my marriage, when we drop the expectation we have for each other and the neediness, I look at you, and then all of a sudden I have an appreciation for the fact that I get to spend this time with you and to get to know you to this level. And women are the same. I was so grateful to have this girlfriend of mine that I look at her and I'm so grateful that I get to know her, the depths of her.
Yeah.
I don't have any expectations for how she's going to behave today. I'm just like, whatever. We're cool. I appreciate you. I don't expect you. And God, that used to be there. It was just pervasive in like this nasty little conditioned belief that I had. Now that that's washed out, I get to look at you and actually see this different kind of beauty.
Yeah, beautiful.
Didn't have anything to
Perspective
do with
shift
weight,
changes everything.
for
Yeah.
sure. Wrinkles and weight and what you eat and what you don't eat and how much you do this and it just doesn't even matter anymore.
I think one of the beautiful things that we've created at Masters of Self University, and especially in, Sacred Feminine Rising group, I mean, go check that out at mastersofselfuniversity.com. Sign up right now. It starts in August.
Yay.
We are ready to. I think one of the most beautiful things that I have been experiencing with all the amazing certified mystical coaches, men and women, they're some of the most amazing people I've ever met in my life. Are these coaches at Masters of Self University. The beautiful thing about the women is to see the trust that you can actually genuinely trust other women when you are in your pain, your darkness, your shadow self. Trust that those women, you can trust them to the core of their being. None of this toxic feminine exists anymore, where that if you leave the room and she's with your husband, that something a little flirting is going to go, a little energy exchange is going to go on. Somebody's lusting after. None of that shit exists anymore. When you do the real healing and you learn what it means to honor one another, other humans, men and women. Women need to learn to step into their power so they have the power to honor, and that means honor other people's relationships, other people's individual journeys, and it's honoring where they're at and what is sacred to them. And you never drip toxic poison into that ever again, which means you learn how to trust yourself. To not show up in that way anymore. You have to learn how to trust yourself. And if you can't trust yourself to not show up in that way, you have healing to do. And that is exactly what our Sacred Feminine Rising group is all about. Healing absolutely everything that has been here for thousands of years, that are the shadow, the wounded feminine, the toxic feminine, and to step fully into your sacred power, because it is in there. You have it. And because you have it, let's connect to it and utilize it in this lifetime. No more waiting centuries for this to come to the planet. It comes through you. It comes here to this planet because of you women. So it is time to step up, join together, and do the real work. Let's go do it.
Woo.
Thank you, ladies. Thank you. This has been such a fabulous conversation. Thank you so much. I'm so grateful to each and every one of you.
So helpful, so needed right now. And as our little girls are coming into the world, and
Mhm.
pornography is so pervasive in our society. We have to get a handle on our little ladies right now and let them know that people are going to try to play that shit out with you, but you are powerful, and that's not okay.
Yeah.
I don't
You got
care what fucking book came out to tell you that that kind of stuff is okay, but our little girls coming into their sexuality need to understand and embrace right now that that's not okay, and that's not the way that it goes.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And honey, Rachel, we've got a whole other podcast in that. I would love about that. Let's do it.
Let's do it.
Sure.
That's
Sign
the
me
next
up.
women's panel. Beautiful.
It's time. Yeah, it really is. I mean, it's past time, obviously, but it's time to get a handle on the trust that we have for each other, the trust that we have within our own selves, and kind of band together and stop the spiritual bypassing nonsense
Yes.
and really get to this in a real way, not just this I call in the energy of.
Yeah.
You
That
got to look at the energy of this over here first.
exactly.
So you can sugarcoat a piece of shit for as long as you want, but it's
Still a piece of shit.
It's still a piece of
It's still a
shit.
piece of shit. Tie it with a bow, put some sugar on top. It's still a piece of shit. Beautifully said. So ladies, that is all that we have time for today. Thank you for our listeners. We love having you here with us in these really powerful, really deep, really cut through the bullshit conversations. And there are a lot more to come. Thank you, ladies, for being with me here today. Thank you
Love
for
each of you.
being
Thank you.
Sacred Feminine Rising. You are powerful, powerful women. I am honored and grateful to know each and every one of you. For our listeners, make sure you like, subscribe, and share this with everyone you know, especially all the beautiful women in your lives. And go to mastersofselfuniversity.com. Sign up for our Sacred Feminine Rising group. We will be in there waiting for you to join the power of Sacred Feminine, to rise together so we can together in oneness heal this entire planet. We have the power to do that. We're the ones that hold the sacred keys to do that, women. So it's time to wake up and find those keys, join together in oneness, and heal this goddamn planet. Let's go.
Yeah, let's go.
Let's go.
Woo, women.
All right, everybody. Bye for now. We'll see you in the next podcast. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.